Hey, how's it going, Todd?
It's going great. I hear some music.
Must be a new day, a new Your Daily Scrum. That means someone out in YouTube land has dropped a new question for us, which is awesome. Leave your questions in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe so you know when we answer your questions. Let us know your thoughts on all of the videos. We love reading the comments. We try to answer. We'll at least heart them all because we do. Once we read them, we mark them off.
Mhm.
But we do try to answer them. But leave your comments, leave your questions, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Because each and every day we answer your questions and try to help you do Scrum a little bit better.
Yeah.
And today, Todd, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, one thing that I'm really starting to dig in the comments here is people jumping in and answering each other's questions. Keep doing that. We'll give our opinion or thoughts on something, or make a video out of it as we're working through them. But keep doing that. I love to see people helping each other, and there's a lot of good conversations happening.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a YouTube Agile for Humans, Your Daily Scrum community building.
Love it.
It's awesome to see.
Yeah.
Todd, today we got another question from one of our viewers, and it's a fun one. Who decides the sprint length for a Scrum team?
Yeah.
What's your take on this one?
So this is a question we get quite a bit, and I think that the answer is not inherently obvious, although it may be to us, right? So there's a lot of considerations. I think we did do a video on considerations of sprint length. I think people's brains automatically go, well, developers, right?
Yeah,
We're developers. And although I do believe it to be a whole Scrum team conversation about what the length of a sprint might be, ultimately, there's a accountability in Scrum that inherits the most risk when they walk away from stakeholders for a extended period of time. When they're not giving the news of what's happening with the product, when there's not an increment to inspect, when there's not the future of the product backlog to inspect. So I think that really, speaking of the product owner here, when I think about who decides the sprint length, unless there's technical limitations, I think of a product owner and the risk that they inherit by going away for too long. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Todd, on this one. And I think we can ground this answer even in the Scrum Guide. So I think we can even find some justification for that. You know, if we look at, there's two key lines that I want to pull out of Scrum Guide 2020. One of them is that the sprints are the heartbeat of Scrum where ideas are turned into value. That word value points me to product owner whenever I see it mentioned, right? And so if it's the heartbeat where ideas are turned into value, I'm thinking product owner, but I'm also thinking the developers are turning those ideas into value.
Yeah.
And so I think there's going to be a collaboration there, but I still see that endpoint of value being points us to the product owner. And then the other piece of guidance we get, fixed length events of 1 month or less to create consistency. So as long as you're under a month and the product owner is using the sprint length to maximize the value of the work being performed by developers and using it as a positive planning horizon to best interact with stakeholders and stay aligned, I think they're doing great. And so I totally agree with you, Todd. I place this in the hands of the product owner and I say, look, what is the right sprint length that's going to get us the maximum alignment with the stakeholders, that's going to allow the developers enough time to create something valuable, right? Value maximizer, product owner. And that's ultimately going to position us to be opportunistic in the marketplace. The whole point of Scrum is to take advantage of opportunities in your market. And that sprint length and the product owner considerations that get us there are paramount.
Yeah, and everything you're describing there, Ryan, it just sounds to me like a product management decision, right? It sounds like a product management decision. How much risk are we willing to take from going away? All these other factors that need to be considered. Although ultimately, product owners, it is a great idea to have a conversation with your entire Scrum team about this.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, if you set a sprint length that your developers from Todd mentioned right off the bat, if there's a technological limitation, you really have to take that into account. If you declare a 1 week sprint and there's no way, given current technology constraints of your team, that they can achieve that, well, that's a silly sprint length, right? And so definitely talk to the rest of the Scrum team. But I think, Todd, you and I are aligned yet again that this is definitely a product owner consideration.
Yeah.
And the length is a means to maximize value and to be opportunistic, right?
And reduce risk.
Absolutely. Love it. It's great when we're aligned. All right.
Yeah, we're still trying to find some big arguments to have on
maybe,
YouTube.
Maybe that's the ask for today, Todd. Leave us a question below that we might argue about. We have not had a good argument in a very long time. So leave us your questions below. Be sure to like and subscribe. We know that about half of you watching right now are not subscribed to this channel, although you keep coming back, which is awesome. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell, make sure you know when we drop the next video. Check out some of the videos we've linked below, right? These are for your convenience. We think these could be helpful as well. Leave your questions, leave your comments. Let us know how you're doing in these areas with Scrum. And until tomorrow, I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. This is Todd Miller, who's also here leaving great answers for you as well. And we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.